everybody. We are back again to talk some more college football. We are done. Cut. It's a wrap. We are done with the regular season.
The bowls are approaching.
The bowls are approaching. But first of all, let's recap what happened in championship weekend.
And all the insanity that ensued.
And all the insanity that ensued. Probably won't have a dumpster fire this week.
Probably won't.
There's no dumpster fire this week. So
well, I can think of probably one. Probably one.
You want to throw one last dumpster fire in?
One last dumpster fire for the year.
Okay. We're going to have a short dumpster fire then, and then we'll jump into our predictions for the bowl games coming up. We're not going to cover all the bowl games, just the bowl games with top 15 teams
Opponents
in them. So let's go ahead and jump into our recap of the playoff weekend. The championship weekend. I think we only went like 2 for 5. We were not very good picking those games last week. We had Utah at USC.
This game in the second half was a beatdown.
I honestly almost picked USC last week. I felt like they were a little hyped.
They were hyped up.
They were a little too hyped. And Utah went in there was like, I like what the head coach for Utah said. Well, we knew before the game that basically they'd already been crowned the champion and their quarterback had already won the Heisman Trophy. So, they were disrespected pretty bad going into the game. So they went in there and just beat the crap out of USC.
Their defense had no pulse. They were sitting down, lying down, and got butt smacked.
I think USC went into the game thinking they'd already won it too. And
I'm going to go ahead
crushed.
And bring out that dumpster fire. This is where I'm going to bring it in.
You're going to go ahead and do a dumpster fire?
USC's defense.
That is bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, you give up over 40. They give up darn near 50.
47. They gave up 47 points in the championship game.
And not just a regular season game.
If you had won it, you would have been in the playoffs.
You would have been in no doubt.
You would have won the Pac-12. You would have been in the playoffs.
You would have played Georgia.
And now you're
stuck playing Tulane.
Stuck playing Tulane
in
the Cotton Bowl.
Full respect to Tulane. I'm not disrespecting them.
No, Tulane's having a fantastic year. We'll cover them here in just a minute, too. Because they're in the Cotton Bowl.
But I couldn't wait to just give USC's defense a new one. They gave up so many yards.
It was bad.
Without a pulse.
They gave up 23 points in the fourth quarter when it counted the most.
That's a choke.
That's a choke.
That is a choke. When you take away those 23 points, what would
be the
score?
It's a tie game.
You see what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah, USC's defense was horrible. That was our Friday night game. Let's jump into
that's only Friday?
That was Friday. Let's jump into the Saturday mornings. We had K-State at TCU. This is the one where I thought TCU was going to win, and they probably should have won. Again, they were at the 1-yard line. They did hand the ball off, but they handed it all at the 5-yard line. What's the purpose of handing the ball back to the 5-yard line, making your running back run 6 yards to get 6 inches? But I'm not a head coach. So.
But Kansas State got the revenge.
K-State is?
I forgot to congratulate Utah for another championship season
2 in a row.
Beforehand.
2 in a row.
2 in a row for them.
Congrats.
Kyle Whittingham. People don't give him enough credit for what he's done with Utah.
No, how many years has he been there?
18.
18 years at Utah.
And he's built them multiple 10-win seasons. I couldn't count. I looked at his resume. He had so many 10-win seasons.
And 2 Pac-12 back-to-back championships. Been in 4 out of the last 5 Pac-12 championship
been in
games.
Competition with it at least.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a program should be.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got them there.
Yeah, that's where a program should strive to be, is what Utah has been the last 5 years.
Credit to Kyle Whittingham for getting it done again for the second year in a row.
And credit to TCU's coach for keeping that team in his first year.
In the playoff.
Got him to the playoffs. They did lose the Big 12 championship game in overtime.
Congratulations to Kansas State, the Wildcats.
Yeah, Kansas State won the Big 12 championship, and their reward is playing Alabama in the Sugar Bowl.
Best of luck to you.
Best of luck to you. But yeah, TCU just couldn't pull it out there at the end. They got it into overtime. They were down by like 15 points and came back and tied it, but in overtime just couldn't get it in the end zone. And then K-State just needed a field goal, and it was over. Yep. But TCU still did not drop one spot. I started out third.
Because they played so tough and gritty throughout the season, why wouldn't you drop them?
Yeah.
Why would you drop them?
The SEC championship game, it was a 17.5 point spread. We thought, surely That's too many points to
But
beat
Georgia just
LSU.
defied my expectations.
50. LSU gave up 50. 50 points. They lost 50 to 30.
To be honest, Georgia was waiting for that time
50.
to beat LSU because it's been a while.
Yeah. I think they owed LSU one. Georgia is scary good right now. I think once they got over the Tennessee hurdle, they realized how good they were. And they're
You really find yourself
focused.
in tough games.
They're focused. They found themselves in that tough Tennessee game, and they
could have
since
their
then,
eyes locked on another national title.
They have beat the. It's going to be tough to beat Georgia. It's going to be really tough to beat Georgia. We had UCF at Tulane for the AAC.
Do you know what what do you prefer, a Crimson Tide or a Green Wave?
I like to have a little green wave myself. I like the green wave.
Oh yeah, what a season for Tulane.
Yeah.
We haven't covered them all year, but they've been sneaky.
Yeah, well,
Sneaky.
They only got up to 18th, so they haven't really got up into the top 15 too much. So,
but 11, they've sneakily got to 11-2.
11-2, won
The
the
best
AAC,
record since 1998.
and will be in the Cotton Bowl
versus
USC.
How about that for your reward?
Yeah, but I'm anxious to see them play. This almost feels like a Boise State Oklahoma game to me. You know, they could be in it right at the end.
USC's defense we've seen is garbage.
USC's defense, so Tulane can score on them. Yeah, and I just wondered how focused USC will be after getting destroyed
by Utah.
Yeah. So congrats to Tulane. We got Purdue at Michigan.
Michigan is once again the king of the Big Ten.
Yeah, the only Power 5 championship game that had a unranked opponent in it, because that's how bad the Big Ten was this year. I keep hammering that, but man, that conference sucked.
But bigger game, Jim, heading to the
Michigan.
playoff
That's
once
actually
again.
We've said it all year. Michigan's not a bad team.
That butt kicking of Ohio State pretty much convinced me they are not going to get out of the playoff.
No, and they beat Purdue by 21 points.
Purdue not only took the loss, but their head coach decided to ask.
I've had enough of this. I'm going to Louisville. Of course, that is his alma mater. So Purdue's head coach left and went to
Louisville, which is understandable.
Yeah. We had Clemson at North Carolina.
DJ Uiagalelei got benched because he was playing bad, and his definite successor to be, Cade Klubnik, comes in and plays well.
And now Ugly is out the door. He declared for the transfer portal the very next day, so he is gone.
So it's Klubnik time for this year and probably next year.
I would say next year too, yeah. He's a freshman, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the hot commodity in Clemson. They've waited for him to get an opportunity.
Yeah, so we'll see how he does. He's going to be he's definitely going to be the starter in the bowl game now. He's going to get 3 weeks of practice to get ready for the bowl game, so we'll see.
North Carolina's quarterback Drake May did get snubbed.
Yeah,
Drake
May is honestly, I think he's definitely. I say he's one of the top 3 to 4 quarterbacks in the country.
Ignore that Heisman. That Heisman's just a pop. We can talk about that in this video, though.
I don't know if I want to, but it's a popularity contest. Who's the most favorite guy on the biggest team?
Just make your own gut instinct of the best quarterback.
It ain't got nothing to do with the best player. But anyways, that is our recap of the championship games. Let's go ahead and jump right into the bowl games. Bowl games are storyline. The first top 15 one is actually early. It's on the 17th, which is next Saturday. Next Saturday, we have a top 15 team. Oregon State will be taking on Florida. I mean, that's a good game.
Especially, let's give the Beavers some credit a little bit here.
The mighty, mighty Beavers. We are the Beavers. Mighty, mighty Beavers.
Points for the cool nickname, too.
Yes.
Beavers are a cool name.
There's not many spiders or beavers in the NFL, so yeah, we like
I like Oregon. They got the orange and black. They're also number 14 in the country.
They have jumped up to number 14.
As high as they've been in a while.
Mm-hmm. They are favored by 10.5 over Florida.
Do you pick them over Florida?
I think they'll probably beat Florida. I don't know if it's 10. I don't know if it's 10.5.
Florida's been pesky.
I mean, Utah tried to beat Florida, and Utah's twice as good a team as Oregon State is. I would probably have to take Florida plus 10.5, to be honest, just because 10.5 is an insult And so, I mean, Florida's going to be taking that as a 10.5, type thing. So,
Billy Napier could end his season off with a winning record.
yep, he can start out 7-6, and honestly, probably, I don't know if they'll win. I probably still think we're going to say, but 10.5 is a lot of points. 10.5 is a lot of points. We got the next top 15 matchup jumps all the way down to
Wednesday, December the
28th.
28th.
So we have to wait 12 days or 11 days in between the first ranked game and the second one.
The real juicy ones are near New Year's.
Yeah, Oregon, North Carolina, and the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl.
That's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful of bowl.
Let's call it the Holiday Bowl.
Let's call it the Holiday Bowl because that's what it's supposed to be. This is the Holiday Bowl. We got Oregon 9-3 versus North Carolina 9-4. Oregon's favored by 14.
Oregon can have yet another 10-win season.
Mm-hmm.
How about them apples? The Ducks have been a consistently good program.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They haven't been quite there, but they can get there if they
I think they're just as good as Clemson, and Clemson beat North Carolina.
So I think Oregon should run that trail all the way through North Carolina.
They should. At line's 14, I would probably take Oregon minus 14 on that. We got the next one is Oklahoma at Florida State.
The Seminoles, they haven't sniffed this in many years.
The Cheez-It Bowl.
I like Cheez-Its. They're nice and tasty.
I like Cheez-Its too. Florida State's favored by 7.5. Florida State's jumped up to 13 in the country.
Florida State's been playing better ever since that disaster against NC State. They've turned it around. They've only lost one game since.
Mm-hmm. And Oklahoma's 6-6. They've had a
tough year.
I would probably take Florida State.
I'm going to take the Noles to have a 10-win season.
I'm taking it too. We got number 20 Texas and number 12 Washington in the Alamo Bowl.
This is an interesting one, to say the least.
This is an interesting
Washington
game.
has an explosive offense that scores points, a lot of points.
Mm-hmm. And defense, and Texas has been coming on strong here lately. So this one is a tough. Texas is actually favored in it by 6.
Would you pick the Horns?
I probably would, yeah.
You'd probably take Texas?
I'd probably take Texas, yeah, because I don't...
You want to have Sark try to bring the Horns back?
I think he's got him on the right road, and when he gets Manning Part 3 next year, he might actually bring him around. And then Friday, December the 30th, we get into the bigger games. We got our number 6. Yes, Tennessee ended up being number 6 in the country behind Alabama, which is stupid. But anyways, they're number 6 playing number 7, the closest matchup of any bowl in the bowl series. Clemson. Is number 6 versus number 7.
Tennessee and Clemson in the Orange Bowl, a very appropriate name and a very appropriate teams to pick.
The Orange Bowl and both teams' colors are orange.
How are you going to tell one from the other?
Clemson's actually favored by 7. Of course, I'm taking Tennessee plus 7 because I think Tennessee's going to win the game.
But there's a storyline that adds a little layer to this.
Yeah, Tennessee's offensive coordinator, Alex Golesh, has left to go be the head coach
of South Florida
Bulls. We wish him luck. Thank you for the fantastic season that we had.
And he did give us credit. Thank you to the University of Tennessee for this opportunity I've had as offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it is my time to take my challenge, this challenge of bringing South Florida back to the top.
Mm-hmm. So I wish Golesh all the luck in the world. I still think our offense is really, really good. And I think Heupel calls the majority of the plays anyway. So I think that we'll do pretty good.
Tim Banks versus Cade Klubnik in that Clemson offense. How do you think that'll go?
I think with 3 or 4 weeks to get ready for it, that we'll look a lot better. You want me to give you an interesting stat? And of course, it's only Tennessee that has to go through this kind of thing. We're playing Clemson now this season. We played LSU. We played Alabama.
Georgia.
We played Georgia. We have played all 4 of the last 4 national champions in one season.
Well, how do you like them apples?
And we have a chance to go 3-1 against the last 4 national champions. How about them?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is that not nuts? But yeah, we got Tennessee minus 7. We got Pitt. No, that's not. We got Alabama, Kansas State.
New Year's Eve action.
Sugar Bowl.
How about them?
I gotta take Alabama.
You want to take the Gump?
I gotta take Alabama. Alabama has lost 2 games this year, and most of them last second.
Like last second.
I mean, last second. Period. Tick, and you lost 1 second. You lost by 1 second each game.
And now they got to fight off a pesky Kansas State team that's come off a Big 12 title.
Yeah. I just think Alabama. Alabama's only favored by 3.5. I would take Alabama minus 3.5 in any game.
11 wins against 11 wins for Nick Saban again.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Again.
How many years has he not got 11 wins?
Like maybe 3 or 2 at most.
2, I think, his entire team.
That's a testament.
Yeah.
To Nick Saban. He could take Bill O'Brien and look decent.
That is saying something because Bill O'Brien's horrible. Got TCU and Michigan in the first playoff of the Fiesta Bowl.
This is an interesting game. Who do you pick here? This one is...
Logically, you would think Michigan.
But my heart picks TCU.
My heart picks TCU, too.
I want to pick TCU to beat Michigan.
Plus 7.5.
Let's take TCU. Take the Frogs.
I'll take the Frogs the upset. For the upset.
I want the Frogs to win a playoff game.
And then the second playoff game, we got Ohio State, Georgia. Georgia's only favored by 6.5. I think
it's going to be 10 plus.
I think it's 10 plus. Yeah.
Ohio State really got bodied by their best team they played, Michigan,
and 2 of their starting wide receivers
are to the NFL.
Go. So. So they're gonna be down a couple of wide receivers,
and everything's pointing to Georgia winning easy.
And they got hammered by 23 points.
They got bodied by Michigan.
But Michigan destroyed them at Ohio. Why would you think that Georgia? And this game's in Georgia, people. It's in Atlanta, Georgia.
There's going to be a bunch of dogs barking in the Buckeyes' faces.
If Ohio loses by 23 at their own place to Michigan, how much will they lose by to Georgia in Atlanta?
Just tip to
43 to 13. I'm picking 30 points.
Tip to the Buckeye fans out there, you're going to hear a lot of barking.
There's going to be a lot of going on.
There's going to be barking. Brutus is probably going to have enough of dogs at the end of the game.
And we'll go ahead and jump on into the national championship game. Might as well do it while we're here. We got Georgia TCU.
If it happens.
If
TCU beats Michigan.
If it does what we think, we got Georgia TCU.
Which I picked the dogs to win their second straight title.
Honestly, I don't think, no matter how it turns out, whether it's Michigan or TCU.
Georgia's going to win that game.
I think Georgia wins that game, yeah.
Another one for the big old SEC then.
Yeah, we got number 16, Tulane. They are close to the 15th, but they're playing number 10, USC. I got Tulane.
This is more, you want to pick the wave.
I'm picking the wave. The line's only 1.5.
Flow with the wave, people. Their wave is coming for you. USC.
I think the Cotton Bowl. I think Tulane will be very, very, very excited to be there, and I think USC is going to be dejected.
Why are we playing Tulane?
We could have been in the playoff, and we're playing Tulane in the Cotton Bowl. Woo! And Tulane goes, "Okay, we'll beat you." And then our last ranked bowl game is on the second, Penn State.
The Rose Bowl.
Utah, the Rose Bowl.
It's a classic name. You all know it. I know it. If those people who don't know football know the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, Penn State at Utah. I'm going to take Utah.
Utah's been flaming hot.
They are only favored by 3, too, so you only have to win by 3.
Big game James in the big game Rose Bowl.
Penn State has played 2 ranked games the entire year and lost both of them. Why would you think they're going to beat the Pac-12 champion Utah when they haven't won a ranked game the entire season?
Big game James.
Big game James.
We need to get a T-shirt for that next year.
Big game James.
We need a T-shirt for that.
Just blue and white. Big game James. Yeah. But that's it. That's our predictions for the bowls. We'll jump back in here after all the bowls are done, maybe, and do a recap for you.
Thank you for being with us this entire year.
Man, college football's over. Man.
We'll be back.
We will be back.
We'll be back to recap the ranked college bowl games, and we will bid you adieu for
and
another
then we
college
will be
year.
gone for another college year is gone. We still got the NFL going on. We'll be in the NFL until February.
So it's time to juice up them fantasy. The fantasy's probably over by then, but
Yeah.
time to juice up your favorite teams' playoff chances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyways, thanks again for sitting with us through this crazy college year. It's been a really good year, really. Again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell us what you think. Wish us a good year. We'll see you.
Hit the groovy playoff button.
The groovy playoff button over here, yeah.
It's a. You may not see it. It's a flashy golden roll over here.
Something, yeah. See you around.
See you next week or month or whichever
year,
it takes.
or whatever it is, yeah. See ya.